Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Wednesday night, like always at 9. Well, it's 9:01. Sometimes I can't tell time. But ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Steelers Dynasty Podcast. I'm your host, Bad Bubba Brewer, the Triple B. And hey, tonight we got a special guest because the Steelers are going to the Windy City. But before we talk about that, I have to bring him on. He is the host of West Virginia Mountaineer Football. He's my co-host on Wednesdays, Mondays, live streams, and anything else on this Steeler podcast, the Steelers Dynasty podcast. He also gives me a hand on Thursday nights with the Pulp Culture on the Triple B Experience. He's special field correspondent, Shane Stodmiller. Hi, Shane.
You make it sound like I help you with everything except wiping and flushing.
Well, you do, because yesterday you had a little bit of water, so your plumbing technique is also great. But Shane, tonight we are very excited because we threw a Hail Mary pass. I don't know if it was an Aaron Rodgers Hail Mary pass or Cordell Stewart Hail Mary pass, but it was something. But, the Steelers are facing the Chicago Bears. And we had a gentleman last night that is a podcaster, a YouTuber, and he does a lot of NFL stuff, and he is a big Chicago Bears fan. So, Shane, we are going to have him on today.
Wait a second, Bubba. Before we get Will on here, I see a lot of those people in the chat.
I know.
They have to at least subscribe or give us a thumbs up.
Oh man, they came in
like the guy on here.
Before we start, I just want to say, everybody from Chicago, I love the Blues Brothers movie. So please, we will fill up our tank and have cases of Iron City beer in the back to drive to Chicago to do what we got to do. But ladies and gentlemen, welcoming to Steelers Dynasty Podcast, it's our honor to have from Chicago. He's a podcaster. He talks about the NFL, and he is a huge Chicago Bears fan. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming to the show, Mr. Will Gray. Hi, Will.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me. Excited to be a part of this. And yes, I'm already seeing my boys in the chat, getting their bear downs in. So I'm going to go ahead and order them to subscribe to Steelers Dynasty Podcast immediately. Don't be in here without subscribing to them.
Well, thank you.
We have Connor from Jersey Mike's in the house, and I can't believe that.
And we will tell everybody in the Steelers chat to actually subscribe to Will Gray. I was on his show last night watching his YouTube channel. He talks about the NFL and the Chicago Bears. He was doing the standings and all that. So everybody give him some love. He's trying to get, some traction. And we also talked to him to come out for the draft, and him and his boys want to, because we'll be going live Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in the Ben Franklin
Tap room.
Thank you. I can't remember. Ben Franklin, George Washington, Paul Revere. But ladies and gentlemen, the Steelers are 6-4. I had to look up some stats of your team, Will, the Chicago Bears, and they look pretty good stat-wise. So what do you think coming in? And we're not rivals or anything. Okay,
no,
this is a friendly. This is like a golf game. I'm going to tee off. Yeah. Shane's going to hit the putt, and we're just going to, talk some football. So let me ask you a question before. What made you a fan of the Chicago Bears?
I was pretty much born into it. Really didn't have an option. I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm proud to be a Chicago Bears fan, proud to be a Chicago sports fan, but from the second I was born, my dad had Bears games on the TVs. That's all I knew. It was Sundays. There was nothing else. It's like church. That's all you did on Sundays in September, October, November, and December. Not often January in my lifetime, but we've been there a few times. So it's as simple as that. I didn't really have an option. I always looked up to my dad as a kid. He was my hero, still is, and he got rowdy for Sundays and for Bears games. So that's how my life has been. And I think a lot of it probably had to do with like the 2006 Bears that went to the Super Bowl. Like that was like when my brain was finally working enough to remember it. And it was a great season. And I think from there I've been hooked. I couldn't tell you the last time I missed a Bears game. Honestly, I couldn't tell you.
Wow, that's pretty good because I remember when I missed a Steeler game and it was 2005.
I want to ask Will something because Bubba, his wife cured him of his Steelers Tourette's. He would yell, Hines Ward! About what? Every time he would touch some girl on the backside. So I hear it's more prevalent Chicago when that happens. It's Mike Ditka every time you touch a boob.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah.
Just wondering.
So Will, growing up, who was your favorite player growing up?
Has to be Devin Hester. I mean, I mean, obviously, I never got to watch Walter Payton play. Walter Payton is who embodies the Chicago Bears. That's all you think of when you think about the Chicago Bears. But I never got to watch him play. And like I said, that 2006 season was when my brain was finally starting to work. And I remember the very first game of the season against the Green Bay Packers. Devin Hester in his first career game ever taking a punt back, and he had 7 that year. Had it in the Super Bowl. He has to be the guy. I've never really had a quarterback yet to root for or go all in. I love Jay Cutler, but I never had that. Urlacher, obviously one of the greats, but Devin Hester is that first player that I remember his career start to finish, and now he's in the Hall of Fame. I mean, Matt Forte is up there. I think Matt Forte is one of the most underrated, very underrated running back of our time.
Is he more famous than Will Forte?
No, I think I'd give the edge to Will Forte. I don't know. Matt Forte was really good for a while. I mean, he never got like premier top running back praise, but I feel like his career was still appreciated he was one of the more better receiving backs of our time, I would say.
I thought you were going to say Brian Urlacher, but
I loved Urlacher.
But I just want to go talk some stats before we get balls deep in Steelers and Bears bullshit. Because guess what? It's not really a super historic matchup. It just goes back. They played 28 times, okay? And it's not a rivalry because the Bears have owned the Steelers. It's 19 wins for the Bears to Steelers 8. There's one tie.
That's not good.
No. Now, the past 5 meetings has been pretty even. The Steelers have won most recently in 2021. That was the November 8th game. And then the Bears, I think, won 2017. So, over the last 5 games, the Bears have 3 wins, Steelers have 2. So that's my little stat, my little bubble there. Guys,
I don't like it, Shane, that we're 1-12 out there. Like, that's not good, but also too, and then we get into it, and I know your hatred, Will, of Aaron Rodgers is probably so very driven. Understand.
I'll touch on that a little bit. This is the one that, first off, you mentioned being 1-12 out in Chicago for the Steelers. Aaron Rodgers is 11-3. I went back and looked last night when we were talking about it. Rodgers is 11-3 at Soldier Field, so he's always had the upper hand. But he's 25-4 in his career against the Chicago Bears in general. So he's owned us from the beginning. And this is my thing about Aaron Rodgers. Yes, I can't stand the guy. That is the truth. But I have always tipped my hat to Aaron Rodgers in the sense of, when you look at the fandoms of the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers, nobody really kind of views it as a rivalry anymore because of the last 25 years, or at least 20 years. It's been nothing but Green Bay. I mean, you can go back to 1992 when Favre came in. It's been nothing but Green Bay over Chicago. And for me, I still view it as a diehard rivalry. It's historic. It's the most matchups in NFL history with each other. And that is the nod that I'll always give Aaron Rodgers, is he always respected the rivalry. He still to this day talks about how important Bears Packers is. He mentioned it today in his press conference. It's up there with Lakers Celtics and Tar Heels versus Duke. He's like, it's one of the all-time great rivalries. And I feel like it gets overlooked because the Packers have owned the Bears, but he still showed up every single Sunday with one goal on his mind, and it was to beat the Chicago Bears, because he knew how much it meant and how much history was behind it. So I've always had the respect for Rodgers in the aspect of respecting the traditions and the history of this rivalry in the NFL in general. But yeah, I fucking hate the guy. He has ripped my heart out time and time again. My whole life. I'm 13 years old crying, tears, because of the Rodgers to Randall Cobb throw on 4th down to go to the playoffs. Whoever won that game won the NFC North. And with 30 seconds left in the game, we blew it. I mean, I've seen it. He had the "We Still Own You" game in 2021, or "I Still Own You. I'll always be your owner." So yeah, I hate Aaron Rodgers, but I respect Aaron Rodgers.
And going to school back when you were younger and losing was very hard because you and all your boys had to congregate at the cafeteria on a Monday after a Sunday, I'm sure, because yeah, and probably you and all your boys are tight. You know what I mean? The Bears it's a religion out there. So Rodgers coming to town is just, you guys are salivating because he's got this. I don't want him playing. As crazy as it sounds, because of this wrist injury, because if something happens, it could cost us something. Now, Shane, go ahead.
Wait a second, guys. Go back to 1977. There was a Steeler that played with a broken wrist. Did you know that?
I did. But it's different times. It's a different time. Like Aaron is signed to get us a playoff win. Let's get one and go from there. I think Mason is fully capable of actually coming into Soldier Field. But Friday we'll know. And I think Friday, I honestly think that Aaron Rodgers, I think you have to strap him down and shoot him up with horse tranquilizers to stop him from coming to Chicago.
He wants to play.
Yes.
Yeah, he wants this. Not on bark right now and howl at the moon. That's usually what he does on a typical Thursday, not on a Wednesday night. So
yeah, he wants to play, and there's parts of me that want him there because I want the opportunity to beat Aaron Rodgers one last time, but I don't know. At the same time, it's I try to look at everything from an analytical standpoint and a realist standpoint. That I think Mason Rudolph is actually pretty serviceable backup and has proven time and time again in Pittsburgh that he can win games. And maybe sitting him and sitting Rodgers would probably be best for the long-term vision of this team, or at least this season.
But I believe, and I know it's going to happen, is Rodgers is going to be behind Frazier. And one last time, you know what I mean? It's like he's like the aging gunslinger coming to Chicago one last time. Can he pull something off? I hope, as being a Steeler fan, I hope that. But I rather just see him sit because we have the Ravens are coming. And you guys are sitting on top of your division, which, you guys beat Minnesota last week. So your defense stopped some good receivers. How do you think, Will, your defense will stack up against it's so hard of our offense because, we don't know. The jumbo package and the Darnell Washington tight end spectacular, that you'll be seeing come Sunday.
So getting into the Bears defense, there's a few things that really stand out. By far, their biggest weakness is their defensive line. They rank, I think, fourth in pressure. I have it written down here somewhere. Fourth and lowest. They have the fourth lowest pressure percentage, and we're going against the best offensive line in football when pressure percentage allowed. The Pittsburgh Steelers. They are third lowest in pass rush win percentage, and the Steelers are top 10 in pass block win percentage. So the Bears defense has not been able to provide any pressure, or defensive line especially, any pressure whatsoever all year long. And the Steelers offensive line has been pretty stout so far this year. So I believe that Rodgers or Rudolph are going to have plenty of time this year, or this season, or this game, Jesus Christ, this game, to kind of sit back there and relax and be able to finally maybe build a better connection with DK Metcalf, because I know that DK Metcalf and Rodgers, they've connected quite a few times, and his target rates are very high towards him this season, but the catch percentages are low. He's going to be able to sit back and relax. Now, the issue is you're potentially getting back Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon to this Bears secondary. Jalen Johnson is one of the best cornerbacks in football. He's only played I think 10 snaps this year. I think he was genuinely in the Lions game for 10 snaps. He's practicing this week. You're getting Kyler Gordon back this week for the Bears secondary. Potentially these are, just activated off of IR. They're practicing, not 100% going, but these guys are potentially back. And I think Kyler Gordon's one of the best run tackling nickelbacks in all of football. So that could be a huge addition for this Bears defense, because right now the struggles with the Bears defense have been they can't get to the quarterback. They can't pressure anybody. And it's just giving these receivers and quarterback free time all day long to be able to hit their guys. And that's when our biggest struggles have been. And touching on the Minnesota game, the numbers might have looked good on our end, but I think a lot of that mostly came from McCarthy's inaccuracy. There was a lot of guys wide open. Justin Jefferson was open quite often. Jordan Addison was open quite often. And we really got lucky with the inaccuracy from McCarthy, because that could have been a really ugly game.
But sometimes it's better to be. Go ahead, Chan. I'm sorry.
Yeah. You guys seem to be able to run the ball pretty good.
Yeah.
Is that something you think is going to keep you going through the season, or is it just an anomaly that you've been so good at just running that damn ball?
I think a lot of it has to do with the scheme. I think they're doing a really good job at the outside zone runs with DeAndre Swift and making sure that Kyle Monangai on the inside zones can just pound the rock and wear down defenses. And the kind of big shift was in week 5 when they benched Braxton Jones, the left tackle, for Theo Benedette. And I have this labeled down as actually one of our weaknesses is our left tackle, Theo Benedette. But he is top 5 in pass or in run block win percentage. He's one of the best run blockers in football, and that's why they made such a heavy shift into the run game and switching him in there. And I think a lot of their success has been on that, because you have 3 of our interior guys who are all top 10 in pass block win percentage, and our right tackle, Darnell Wright, is 5th in the NFL in pass block win percentage. These guys are really locked down. They've been ranked a top 5 unit now for a couple of weeks, but when it comes to the passing game and Theo Benedette, he is a liability at left tackle. So that's why I think the run game has been so heavy. They have a very great run scheme, like I said, with the outside zones, inside rushes with Monangai. I think that's something they're going to try and rely on all season long. And I know the Steelers have had their issues. I don't know if it's been like that on paper. I haven't caught too much of their tape. So for me, in my eyes, I want to run the ball as much as we can this weekend. Try and slow down Watt and Hergig as much.
You don't know what Steelers defense is going to show up. Like Bubba, it's
if it's the Steelers defense of the Colts game where they stopped Jonathan Taylor, then we've been doing a roller coaster ride, because we got the highest paid defense, but what defense shows up? That's the problem.
No, 100%. So I've caught, I would say, 2 full Steelers games this year where I was able to watch start to finish. It was the Chargers game and the Packers game. So both two rough ones. But yeah. I mean, for me, it's always they still got Tomlin, they still got Rodgers and TJ Watt. I don't look at it truly from that.
Well,
aspect.
you were taking us to beat the Pack.
I was hoping. I wasn't sure I was very high on Green Bay going into the season. I was. So obviously they have not been playing the best ball up to this point. I don't
think they're that good, and I think they're a playoff team, but they're not a Super Bowl team.
I will say that
hopefully Chicago gives me some love on that, but I don't think
100%
they are not.
My opinion has changed. When they acquired Micah Parsons, I 1,000% that this team would be contending for a Super Bowl. And it's not to say that they still can't. Anything can happen in the NFL. They could start to click offensively. But there's no doubt about it. In the sample size that we've seen through 10 games, it is not Super Bowl. It is not Super Bowl potential in any way, shape, or form offensively. Defensively, yes, it's there. But their offense has not been performing at a Super Bowl level by any means.
Bubba, I want to ask Will a question. Does he know who this backup is that we have? We have a secret weapon, and if he starts, he poses a problem for the Bears defense. Go ahead and pull him up.
This guy right here.
You know who that is, Will?
Is that Mason Rudolph?
Mason Rudolph.
That looks like Taylor Lautner.
It is Taylor Lautner, but I would take this photo to training camp and get Mason Rudolph to sign it, thinking it was him. I was just gonna pretend I was like, maybe
we'd have been escorted off. We'd have been escorted out of Latrobe quicker than we got parked, because they had said, "Get the fuck out of here." But Shane always throws this up, and because Shane actually last year called that Justin Fields would be our starting quarterback, and we had to deal with him for like those 5 games. And Shane was right on the money, because I didn't think that – I thought Russell Wilson was going to be the starting quarterback starting the year, but Shane called it. And sometimes Shane does actually come up with some good stuff. But your run defense, but also too Jaylen Warren for us, it might not be that's scary too.
Is he questionable?
He is right now. They haven't said anything, and I've been trying to pay attention stuff. God damn it, Burns. Fuck you, Burns. This is my buddy who lives 5 minutes down the road in Western Pennsylvania, who has to be, thank you, Burns. I guess you'll be loved in Chicago now.
Yeah, Brian Burns actually dresses up as Dick as cosplay and goes to these dominatrix rallies with whips and stuff and tries to take care of business.
But I think rushing wise, Chicago in the rush, Steelers rush. I looked at the stats. The Bears actually are a better running team than Steelers. Their offense seems to be a little better than the Steelers.
It's working right now, and I'm loving it. I'm loving what Ben Johnson has been able to come in here and bring in, with the scheme and everything. He's just getting guys open across the field. The Bears are number one in the NFL in big plays, explosive plays. That's, runs of 10 yards.
A lot of trick plays, a lot of gadget plays.
We haven't seen too. It's been in like flashes. Like when he knows that he's got a weaker defense, he starts busting out a couple of them. But when he knows when he's got to be on his P's and Q's, like I wouldn't expect to see anything this weekend unless we absolutely have nothing going. The only moments where he's really busted it out is when we have absolutely nothing going for us. And then he's trying to either spark it or when we're playing a pretty poor defense. And I don't think he's going to try and trick Mike Tomlin into anything this weekend because he didn't really bust out anything against Brian Flores last week in Minnesota. And I can't imagine he's going to try and test Mike Tomlin in any way, shape, or form this weekend. He's just been consistent in the play action, a lot of under center, and that's really what's been working. They're hitting the middle of the field very well, a lot of digs and crossers that are really making this offense run. For me, I would say my biggest fear is going into this game is just with the Bears defense, why they're not a terrible unit because they're able to they lead the NFL in takeaways. Like it's crazy to me, but in pretty much every other metric outside of third down, they're bottom five. They truly are bottom five. Like they give up like I was talking about with the lack of pass rush that they have. They're the worst in the NFL in explosive plays because of their lack of pass rush. Their passing metrics are terrible. They've given up the 25th most passing touchdowns. They allow the 32nd or the 31st best completion percentage. But that whole thing kind of shifts once it turns into third down. The Bears are a top 3 unit defensively on third downs.
And we are
so
not.
if I'm the
Steelers are not.
Yeah, so that's kind of what if I'm the Steelers, I'm trying to get as much chunk plays as possible on first and second down. You're looking to get about 6 or 7 yards on first down every single time. Arthur Smith really needs to be in his bag this weekend and get as many plays on first or second down because this team, for some reason, completely flips a switch on third down. That's when Dennis Allen, our defensive coordinator, gets a lot more exotic with his scheme packages. He runs a lot of nickel blitzes, really firing Chauncey Gardner-Johnson off the edge. So I would say that if the Steelers want to have some offensive success this weekend, they need to attack on first and second down. They need to attack this defense on. So
we have a couple questions, and I'm going to ask one. Will, so when you guys defensively get the takeaways, is your offense actually going down and scoring? Because the Steelers right now are at 73 points off of turnovers. Are you guys scoring when you get the turnovers?
They're doing okay off turnovers, just in general sense of offense. Like while they're able to move the ball with all these big plays and explosive plays and running the ball down their throat, they actually struggle in the red zone. Like that has been one of their biggest problems all year long, is that this team will find ways to get into opponent's territory and fairly quickly. And then it kind of just goes out the door. In the beginning of the season, it was mostly just penalties, really just shooting themselves in the foot once they got down there. And then now lately, once they've been down there, it's been, it seems like the whole scheme shifts. I seen a couple of goal line fades that I'm not really a fan of. And it's funny because Ben Johnson comes out and says he's not a big fan of goal line fades. So that's something that they really need to work on, because I love the way the offense is moving the ball down the field. But once they get down there, they only have a 54% touchdown percentage.
I'm okay with that, because I think in our red zone is actually a high percentage. And I actually have a question going off of Ben Johnson. Gene from the chat wants to know how much of a godsend Ben Johnson is for you.
You couldn't have I couldn't have asked for a better situation. I genuinely couldn't. Like, this was my guy going into the offseason last year when they were drafting Caleb Williams at the time, beginning of 2024, and you knew that was kind of going to be the direction of this team. I don't know why Matt Eberflus was not fired and Ben Johnson was not hired. And finally, some way, shape, or form, this franchise woke up a little bit and finally went out there and got the guy. It's been an absolute godsend, not just from an offensive schematic standpoint, from a cultural standpoint, everything. And it's easy to have a good culture when you're winning. It is.
Right.
But he really does look like a no bullshit, no rah-rah kind of guy. He knows how to get those boys prepared. And if it's not good enough, regardless of wins or losses, then he's going to be pissed off. He's going to be a very angry guy, because we had a lot of good things going on when Matt Nagy got hired back in 2018, but you could see the flaws in the cracks. You could see the cracks in the system. It was not great offensively, like we've kind of been experiencing here. And they were benefiting from one of the best.
But it's like Christmas. As soon as you guys got him, Christmas was
okay. He seemed to be the Caleb whisperer, because he was doing too good last year, and all of a sudden.
Well, when you got an offensive-minded coach, you know what I mean? Like, let me ask you a question, Will. Do you guys gamble on your fourth downs? I mean, because a lot of Steelers opponents, the Colts, for one, they just flubbed their nose at the Steelers defense, and if it's a fourth down, they're going for it. Do you think that's going to happen Sunday if it's a short little situation where, you guys go fourth and 1 or 4th and 2 against the Steelers defense?
Ben has shown lots of aggressive traits so far into his short tenure as the Bears head coach. You kind of were expecting that coming from the Lions and how often Dan Campbell goes for it on fourth down and how ballsy he plays. But I wouldn't say it's to the level that I honestly thought it was going to be. I feel like earlier in the year, he came out and was a little bit more aggressive on fourth down than he's been towards the back end of the season. And maybe that's just something that he's seeing in the matchups. If you're sitting here telling me that teams are going for it more often on fourth down against the Steelers, then I wouldn't be surprised if Ben does try to take advantage of that this weekend. But I wouldn't say it's to the level that I thought it was.
Yeah, because every team seems like the Steelers don't get the respect that they used to get back in the day right now until they start playing consistency. We're not playing consistent. We're a two half kind of team, and we got to play 60 minutes like old Cowher used to say. But Burns has another question. Who's your tight end of all time? Who's your greatest tight end of all time?
Shit, that's a good one.
That's a trick question, Will.
That is a trick question. That is a trick question.
I mean, I love Mike Ditka, but I mean, from a realist and an NFL standpoint, I think I would lean Gronk. I don't know.
He was a Steeler. He was a fucking Steeler killer, man.
Yeah,
I'm telling you,
awesome, man.
Yeah, New England with Brady, 2 AFC Championship losses I've been to, and I'm an old man, and it still stings me. Like it's pathetic. Like we just never could stop. We never could go through Brady. We could never do what we needed to do, and that
I couldn't imagine that as a fan of an AFC team having to go through. I mean, it's kind of like that way with Mahomes right now too. It's like having to go through that is quite frustrating. I would imagine.
You guys kick a lot of field goals. Speaking of field goals, how is your kicker? Because we have a kicker too, and after that, I'm going to ask, what is the weather conditions going to be in Chicago game time?
Cairo Santos, I've been a cautious fan of his, I would say, in my fandom of his over the last 5 years. I think he is absolutely money, anything less than 50 yards. And he has one of the best field goal percentages on kicks, anything less than 50 yards. But he just doesn't have the leg that these modern day kickers do. I couldn't tell you the last time that he attempted a field goal over 55 yards. He kicked a 54 and it was good on Monday, but he just doesn't have the leg of these guys who can kick. And I mean, especially that now we're in this modern NFL era where you have Cam Little in Jacksonville kicking 70-yarders. I mean, I know Boswell's got a boot on him. So, like, our kicker just can't do that, and it's frustrating because I feel like that's just extra points you're leaving off the board compared to what other teams can do.
In college, I saw a kicker that you might know, named Todd Sauerbrunn. I had class with him. And he was a kicker for the Bears in the late 90s. Punter, I should say.
Well, actually, did you say punter?
60-yard punt against Nebraska, and it was the boom. It was the biggest boom I've ever seen. That thing went like it was going to the moon.
Like you said he was a punter, Shane?
He was a punter, not a kicker, but
because his job is actually the company is owned by a Chicago punter. There's a factory, Will, that's like a half hour from my house, and a Chicago punter actually maybe his family or whatever. It has to be him.
It has to be Todd's, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Todd was 220, 210, and he was a hell of a kicker. And he was in the NFL.
No shit. Yeah, no. That's crazy that he owns a company right out there next to you guys. And yes, Santos Boswell is definitely better than Cairo Santos. I would take Chris Boswell in a heartbeat.
So how is your field? Like because I know I call it Heinz Field. Heinz Field last week had a high school championship games. Me and Shane were talking. They had Notre Dame, Pitt.
Yeah, and then they had a college game, and then this week they have high school. Last week was college. They had game day there Saturday, all day Saturday.
Yeah, field should be in good condition. We played there 2 weeks ago. It's going to be supposed to be 55 and completely sunny on Sunday. So we're looking at a beautiful football, brisk November game.
Okay.
I can't. I mean, I know that the field isn't owned by the Chicago Bears. It's one of the only teams in the NFL not actually owned by the franchise. It's owned by the Chicago Park District. So I don't know what. Yeah, it's terrible. That's why they're moving.
It's like fucking Park and Recreations owns your fucking field.
Yes,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it sucks. It does. That's why they're moving to Arlington. That's why they're building a brand new stadium out in Arlington. Because,
that's terrible.
Yeah, we've been playing at a field owned by the Chicago fucking Park District for the last like 50 years, 60 years.
I did not know that. I mean, I always thought the Hallases owned everything, and you know what I mean.
No.
Like, wow,
no, they're very cheap. They like to save their buck, but they're finally starting to realize and figure out that they need to do something else. Like I said, they're getting a brand new stadium, but they're seeking public funding. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how long it takes. But yeah, they don't have a whole lot of real cash. It's all just the fact that they own the
fucking
Bears.
Amy Poehler and fucking Chris Pratt fucking owning your stadium. Now, did you ever see? I know you're a little young for this game, but do you remember that game in your Chicago historical?
Oh yeah. I've watched that game plenty of times. I've watched the NFL, it's called NFL Timelines, the documentary that NFL Films does on that game. Insane game. I couldn't imagine I feel like I'd be miserable as a fan, especially like watching on TV. You couldn't see anything on TV. The broadcasters couldn't see anything, so you just got to wait until it's over.
I remember that game. I was watching it in a bar.
They say it was fog. It was just smoke from all the people smoking cigarettes and cigars. In there.
Now, Gene asked you if you go to the games, and if you do you have a guy that fucking? I'll show you the video here in a second. Who was an asshole and tries to get money out of a parrot? But do you go to the games? Are you a season ticket holder or go? Or
no. I mean, I do go to the games, but I'm not a season ticket holder. I try to get out there once a year. I do enjoy just the comfort of my own home sometimes, and I like to relax and just flip on the TV and watch the Bears games because I get too high wired. I feel like I want to know every little thing that's going on with the game. So I feel like when I'm at the game and I get a few beers in me, I'm starting to lose track of what's going on and losing the focus of the games here. So I like to stay home, stay a little bit calmed and
So,
relaxed.
and you don't have an asshole parrot guy trying to fucking extort money out of you like I do.
No,
like in
no
Pittsburgh.
parrot guy.
Yeah, well,
no
we'll
guy.
show you in a second because this guy's an asshole.
Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. African parrots. They're big and they're huge.
Well, they're not African.
Well, I don't know because I don't get out much. What are they? Can they talk?
I get paid to talk, sir.
Oh, they get paid to talk?
I get paid to talk.
Oh, you get paid to talk? Okay. He gets paid to talk, and the birds just look. There we go. He's like, "Out of hell with you guys." That's okay, Steeler Dynasty podcast. We're good. That's good. Okay.
Yeah,
What
he was
the
an
hell was
asshole. Well, me and Gene, one of the guys in the chat, me and Gene went to the game against Seattle, the home opener. We're walking to the stadium, and I thought these were African parrots, and then I guess I offended him, and he goes, well, it was $20. $20. I go, does it talk? He goes, yeah, $20. I'm like, motherfucker, I ain't paying you $20 fucking dollars to hear a fucking bird talk. And Gene's like, well, I'll pay $5, Bubba. I'm like, fuck him, Gene. And then I got it on video, and every time, the guys in the chat love it because this guy is a big asshole. So if he ever wants to sue me, he
Jag off.
Yeah, that's a Pittsburgh jack off right there.
Yeah,
but
that is crazy. That somebody just. I mean, you never know what you're going to see outside those stadiums. People are trying to make money in any way, shape, or form. I bought beers off guys at sidewalks on my way to Soldier Field, but I can't say I've ever seen a parrot guy. I've even taken one of those little scooter. Somebody, the guy driving the bike, and he's got
the guy pedaling, when you're drinking.
Yeah. Well, I can't say I've seen any parrots.
Well, I guess it was a macaw. I don't know. I had bird blindness. I have no idea. So I think they're going to feed Darnell. Darnell is a big individual. You Chicago fans, he is not 264 pounds. He is over 330. He is legitimately 6'7". He is a massive amount of man, and I do believe that he is going to block. Sunday he blocked a guy into a Cincinnati Bengal into another Cincinnati Bengal and let I think it was Gainwell get some yards. He is a beast. He's not 260. He is legitimately 300 and some pounds. I think they're going to feed him. Since you're the guest, do you think they're going to feed him a little bit of the ball? And how do your Chicago Bears stop that massive humanity?
For somebody that big, you gotta try and go as low as possible. Obviously, not trying to hit, dirty hit or injure a player, but it is not an easy task to bring down a guy like Darnell Washington. He is a freak of nature. He really is. I really liked him coming out of Georgia a few years ago, and it's kind of surprised me that it's taken them a little bit this long to get him more involved. I know he's pretty much just been.
Well, it's the Steelers. The Steelers are a little slow getting stuff out because don't let me go on a tangent about how I didn't want fucking Pickens to be traded, and now he's got almost 1,000 yards. So, Shane will have to reel me in because I wanted him and Metcalf.
Yeah. Trouble.
I know he's trouble, but trouble comes with a price, and a price could be, in the playoffs.
Yeah, Tomlin does run a tight ship. So I mean, it wasn't necessarily that much of a shock to me, but regardless, what they are doing, with Pickens in Dallas it is probably not easy as a fan. I mean, I've been there. We've traded Roquan Smith away. I've seen stuff like that. Greg Olsen, we traded away Greg Olsen after his third season, and he went on to have a almost maybe Hall of Fame career with the Carolina Panthers. So I've been there.
He's a lot better than fucking Tom Brady.
Yeah, he's great in the booth. Greg Olsen is phenomenal in the booth.
Shane, do you think Big Darnell is going to be making a splash come? I
don't know. This last week, he was like somebody's uncle that got drunk at a family reunion and decided to play football with the 8 and the 10-year-olds, and he's like palming these guys' heads in the backfield on the same play. It's not like he just punked one guy, 3 guys. It was like it didn't even look like it looked like AI created. I had to do that, He looked like he is a freak. He's a freak of nature. I mean, that stiff arm, run a guy over, finish it off with running another guy over. It's mind-boggling what he can do. And I know that for the first few years of his career, he's pretty much just been another tackle. Like that's just been his role. He's that big where he looks like a left tackle, but he's also athletic enough now where I'm happy to see Arthur Smith.
Well, he hurdled the guy. He's trying to hurdle. Yeah, he's 360 pounds hurdling guys. Like if I did that, I'd pull my nut and I'd be in traction for 6 months. Like there ain't no way I'm doing that. But this question here from Stone, look, there's a little
I missed that.
favoritism. There's a little
Stone
Connor Hayward.
is correct.
Yes, yeah,
He-
because it can.
Stone is guys. If you talk to Stone at Butler Jersey Mike's, order number 13 Mike's Way, and he'll sprinkle a little extra love on it. I swear, it's delicious.
Well, they have that commercial together, Stone. They're making money. I thought he was going to get cut in training camp, but I think Cam must have said something. So I don't know. Maybe he got it in his contract because he didn't get the big money. So, I mean, you know, and they should have never – they did that tush-push, and we didn't have a first down. And the referees – I don't know how you see the referees, Will, but I think the referees need to be retrained, and they have to – plays, they should probably give the money back, their salary, because they just are not.
I completely agree. I couldn't agree more that the NFL has a severe officiating problem. It has just gotten way out of hand. There's way too many flags time and time again. And I'll always tip my cap to the NFL. They're great at growing the game, but the easiest way to turn people off is when you're getting the officiating way too involved. And they've been so advanced with, playing games overseas and trying to grow the game in any way, which way. They're trying all these new technical things outside. They got next gen stats, all these marketing deals, everything like that. You have all this tech at your disposal and you're not bringing it into officiating. Now, I like the raw aspect of officiating, but where's like a checks and balances here? You have all this insane technology where these rules could be immediately like shifted. You could use tech to your advantage. And they talk about how you can't use some sideline cameras or some sideline angles in certain games because it's the stadium. No, they should have these 360 cameras where you can see every little, they have this is real life technology. They should be able to get every little thing down to the wire correct. And I'm not saying that I think that kind of ruins the raw aspect of officiating and playing the game fairly. That's how it goes. But at the same time, these guys are just way off all the time. It's so ticky-tacky now to the fact where you don't know what an offensive pass interference is anymore because they throw it on a correct play,
and it ruins drives. The drive, and then it's like, oh, they have a touchdown, they call it back. I don't know. I mean, I try to play a little bit of FanDuel, but hey, Vegas is Vegas.
Well, I've been trying for you've heard about the terrible towel, right?
Of course.
Okay. Well,
oh God, here we go.
This show, and Bubba doesn't like this idea.
I just laugh. Will. I just laugh.
The Steelers front office won't answer my calls.
No, they won't.
They won't, because I'm trying to get a thing. It's a black and gold terrible tampon, and I thought, you know what? We can maybe I can call the front office for the referees, and instead of throwing those flags when a quarterback gets touched, you just throw out that terrible tampon. Maybe the applicator might hit somebody, but you know what? We'll make it a little bit more safe. Maybe
I've tried to get this podcast to the spokesman of the Steelers, and if they ever listen, I wrote to Merrill Hodge one time, and you guys had Merrill Hodge on your team, and I love Merrill Hodge. You had Cordell Stewart.
We had Cordell Stewart.
We had Cordell Stewart on here about a couple years ago. It was his first podcast ever with Randy Fuller. We had him on here. Yeah,
awesome. That's so cool. Yeah.
And those two Steelers are synonymous with the trying times because, Slash was way before his time. I had actually written to Merrill Hodge. He wrote me back, and we were going to get Merrill Hodge on the show, but his wife actually screens all the podcasts. So his wife probably just checked us out. So that's why, hey, Afton, how you doing? Afton also has a podcast, and they do reviews. The Know It All podcast on Sunday after the Steeler game. So let's get in a little bit into some keys to victory on both sides here.
Yeah, I have some down for you guys.
We will start with you, Shane, because you and you can give you guys a score. And go from there, Shane. What would be your three keys for the Steelers, or three keys for the Steelers, and then give your score. We'll go all the keys, and then we'll go our scores later. So, what are your three keys, Shane? I can't hear you, Shane.
TJ Watt needs to show up. He's been a ghost. So, Halloween's
Okay.
over. Okay, time for TJ to make a little bit of make some splash plays and earn that paycheck. But that's not probably the biggest thing. I had it number one, but I would say the biggest thing, and it's at number two. It's no order. Is, man, you got to stop that rush. The Steelers have to plug up the middle, and hey, make them throw deep. See what happens. It's a coin toss. I mean, is the secondary going to show up, or are they going to lay an egg? They went from shit to sugar and sugar to shit. That's what happens with the backfield. And then the third thing is it might come down to some boots, some Boswell kicking some extra points, making 3 instead of 7, because points are points. You just don't want to go for fourth down when you're in settle for nothing, because I think with this Bears team, it's hard in the red zone to score. That's it.
Okay. I'll give my 3, and then I'll give Will. He can clean up, because then he can catch both our viewpoints and then come in and just slice and dice. My first key is going to be the offensive line, because I have a funny feeling Rodgers is going to play. So you got to, by the grace of God, you can't have a Bears defensive lineman touch him at all. He has to be glistening like he's on Christ on water. He cannot be touched, because you don't want that. That is first and foremost if Rodgers is playing. That's it. Secondly, the Steelers offense has to maintain drives. And I believe if they can run on the defense of Chicago, we have something. We can't kick field goals with Boz. We have to score touchdowns. Get a little pad, okay, just in my opinion. And on the defense side, we have to have somebody, eyes on Williams at all time, because I feel if he doesn't see nothing, he's taking off. And we'll probably add more to that later here in about a second. But we have to have a spy on Williams so he doesn't run out of the pocket, because he could probably kill us with his legs, and I don't want that either. So those are my 3 takes off canter of the situation that's coming in, in Soldier Field with the Steelers over the Bears. So now Will is going to give his 3 keys. Not Steel. It's Chicago.
I have
style pizza keys.
I have keys down for the Steelers to win as well. So if you want, I wrote down some keys to defeating. Hey, if anybody knows how to defeat the Bears, it's a Bears fan. Like, what are our weaknesses? So I'll give you guys my Steelers keys to victory and my Bears keys to victory for you guys as well. Wow. So we'll start with the Steelers, kind of go off of you guys. Limit the third down scenarios. I talked to you guys earlier in the show about how the Bears defense is one of the worst in the NFL. Bottom metrics when on first and second down. But on third down, they're electric. Limit your third down scenarios as much as you possibly can, because that's when Dennis Allen likes to get his defensive scheme exotic, start bringing the nickels. But he runs a pretty base system on first and second down. So take advantage of those opportunities as much as you possibly can, because you're going to have every opportunity to. Second, you have to finish your sacks on Caleb Williams. He has the most avoided sacks in the NFL this year. He really has been Houdini in that backfield. Some elite names. You think about Brian Burns, Jonathan Grenard. He hasn't faced anybody truly like TJ Watt yet. But he's played some really good names and has found his way out of a lot of sacks this year. They have the least amount of sacks per game in football. But on the opposite hand, the Steelers have 5.2 sacks per game, which is the most in the second most in the NFL, next to Denver. So it's going to be a battle of the wits there with the offensive line and the Steelers defensive line, and then just contain the run game. That's all you got to do. You got to contain the outside zones, really try to limit anything outside, because Ben Johnson does like to drop back and go into a more shotgun, because if his run game is not working, his play action is not working. And he loves running the play action. He loves running out of 12 personnel. So you stop that run game, he'll go into a more shotgun base, and that's where they don't have a whole lot of experience yet as a unit this year, is in the shotgun formation. So those are my 3 victory keys to victory for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
God bless you.
Now I'm gonna give you guys my 3 keys to victory for the Chicago Bears this weekend. And it's essentially just kind of flip-flopping my first key for the Steelers, and it's limiting Aaron Rodgers' first and second down success. maybe start flopping those exotic pressures and those exotic looks that you throw out there on third down into first down. Try and make those first down gains, 1 to 2 yards, or at least for a lack of or a loss of yards, instead of letting them get these chunk plays on first down. Second one is feed the tight ends. Pittsburgh
Oh shit.
Pittsburgh this year has really struggled against the tight ends that they've played. They've given up 3 games where tight ends have had 100+ receiving yards this year. They have, I think, the most receptions allowed to tight ends, the most yards allowed to tight ends. And the beautiful thing about it is that, well, I guess in my stance, the beautiful thing about it, maybe not the most beautiful thing for you guys, is the Bears have been running a lot of 12 personnel to tight ends, and they've been really running their offense the last 3 games through Colston Loveland and Cole Kmet. So I continue to do that a lot. It's been a key weakness in the Steelers defense, and I would like to see them continue to do that on Sunday, run the offense through there. And then it's just limit Watt and Herbig. I mean, those guys are game wreckers. You got to do what you possibly can. If Theo Benedict is lined up one-on-one with TJ Watt, you throw Cole Kmet on his left side. You chip him, you block him. Herbig has been one of the best linebackers in football this year. Really, he's changing games. He's got 5 sacks, and he's not even coming off the edge at a very high rate. He's coming off in different things, stunts, all that kind of stuff. So limit those 2 players and take the points when you can for me. I don't think they need to go crazy, but I think that you need to get the points when you possibly can, because you never know what Mike Tomlin and TJ Watt and those guys have up their sleeve.
Wow, Shane, I think Will's like,
he's
you're too goddamn intelligent to be on our fucking
show. No. I can have fucking fun too, man. Trust me.
Will, but this is what happens with Bubba and me. We'll say, yeah, they're averaging 4.9 yards a carry. Hey, and Bubba, did you get that new sub they have at Sheets? Did you go?
We get off the.
They put peanut butter inside of a donut at the bakery, and I about fell over.
Well,
and Bubba go, well, I had Dairy Queen. I went there to get a hamburger, and I got too.
Yeah, we beat the Colts, man. We beat the Colts. It was like we, down on a 5th of bourbon, but we got a blizzard.
Beautiful game, really. I mean, that's kind of been like, this is why I really don't know kind of what to expect. I think it's going to be a real battle of the wits on Sunday, because you have a very strong, defensive unit from the Pittsburgh Steelers, especially in their defensive line. They're getting sacks at a high level, but you have a very good Bears offensive line that's not allowing sacks at a high level, and their quarterback is knowing how to avoid the sack. So I don't really know how to look at it. And then you look at the Steelers, they've got some really ugly losses over the course of the season so far, but they have some really big wins at the same time. It's kind of been one of those things where you kind of just don't know how to gauge it, really. Very roller coaster.
Shane has to pull me back, and then I have to come back, and then I recalibrate, and then I'm like jumping off the goddamn cliff, and then I got to recalibrate, and I'm like, I picked the Steelers 14-3. That's how crazy we had our picks in the season and earlier. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, we signed Aaron, and I'm like, it's all. I haven't got my jersey yet. I'm gonna get my jersey. It's coming. But I got a couple questions.
We got real questions.
We got real questions before we give the scores here.
None of this technical shit. This is legit. Pepperoni rolls or hot wings. Have you had a pepperoni roll?
Is that a Pittsburgh thing?
More of like a southwestern Pennsylvania, West Virginia thing.
Is it just pepperoni rolled up into like a?
Yeah. No, it's like a little piece of bread with pepperoni in it.
I don't think I've had. I mean, maybe to
an extent. You haven't. So
I haven't. No.
Yeah, you're gonna get some questions from the chat.
Let's go. Hot wings. Then I'm going with the hot wings.
Okay, hot wings. We'll have to get you some pepperoni rolls. Google it. Maybe you can order some.
Well, Will, you're going to get some crazy questions from our chat, because that's how we roll here. We got our chats from all over the United States.
I'll answer anything.
He's about an hour north of us, and is Chicago style really better than New York?
Yeah, you like thick pizza or thin pizza?
it's kind of funny because in Chicago, it's Chicago style pizza is often referred to as deep dish pizza. And after living in Chicago for 7 years, it's kind of the exact opposite. Our Chicagoans really love just that tavern style. It's thicker crust, but we're not big deep dish guys. It's just the chains have, blown it into proportion and made it just kind of this Chicago style thing. So in my head, Chicago style pizza is just thicker tavern crust, large chunks of meat, not like real flat sausage or like the pepperoni like they're in New York.
Yeah,
I'm
I'll eat good. I'll eat a Chicago.
He goes to this place called Bob's, and it's like, start the clock. I'm gonna poop myself. Like 20 minutes, go. Like I gotta drive home.
Will, I can get 5 slices, and they call it a hoagie. They call it a Wapaho, and I get a root beer for $13. I mean, you can't beat that. Yeah. Like you can't get a case. You can't even get 2 beers at the bar anywhere in Chicago or Pittsburgh for $13.
Nope.
But, Randy gave you a plug here. Salute the Bears, and
thank you, Randy.
So okay, so Shane. What is that's that Afton right there is pretty good right there. I mean, that's just how it is.
I didn't see what he said. I missed it. Sorry.
Yeah, Afton's got the famous line. Where am I going here? That one?
No, the one that you had, the one that said Will should stop in more or something like that. Was that what he was talking about?
Oh,
is that the comment that you were talking about?
You got a lot of love. There you go.
I appreciate. There we go. Will should stop in more to see how he usually.
So Doug's a regular here.
I love that. Yeah, this has been a lot of fun. I could talk about anything, guys. Trust me. I love talking football, and I love talking just about anything. They could throw out all these questions at me. I'll answer them. It don't matter.
I mean, this is the greatest line from one of the greatest movies in Chicago. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Shout out to Will from South Philly.
Illinois.
Thank you.
Joliet, maybe.
Yeah, I got a buddy that lives out in Joliet. Yeah. Good football school. Good.
Steeler chick gets to Bears games out in Iowa.
Yeah. A lot of Bears fans in Iowa.
And Patricia we got a lot of Mexicans.
We got Patricia. I had to mail her a Steeler Dynasty podcast hat. And it took me 3 months, but she got it. She sent me a picture, and God bless her. She's in Mexico, fans in Mexico, the country of Mexico, from two Yinzers from Western Pennsylvania. I mean, you can, like, when you get your chat community and your stuff rocking and rolling, I'm telling you, this chat here, these people, they go to Mark, Steeler Nation Australia. These people are just probably the greatest people that we've met a few of them, and we're going to meet some of them for our draft. But, awesome. Every Wednesday, like clockwork, I mean, like, this is great. You guys obviously have a great community here. It's really,
we were up to 30 in the chat, so it's a good night.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great.
Now I'm going to say the Bulls or Will Ditka versus I mean, you got a lot of championship teams in Chicago.
Hold on. Let me see if I can get the. There you go, your Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Right there,
well, Michael Jordan is the great. I mean, to me, Michael. I was a Larry Bird fan, but I mean, Michael Jordan is the GOAT. I mean,
he's the GOAT. Yeah. I mean, the Bulls are the. I will say this: the Bears, the Chicago runs through the Chicago Bears. It is a football town, no doubt about it. You have the Cubs, obviously, but it's split up with the White Sox, and the Blackhawks were great over the last couple of years. I'm a huge Blackhawks fan. I was one of the highlights.
So you face the Penguins. It's crazy, huh?
The Blackhawks have the best looking jerseys.
Yeah, they're awesome. I love it. But this is a Bears city. But yeah, Michael Jordan is, one of the greatest athletes of all time. He is, probably the greatest Chicago athlete ever walk. I would say it's fairly safe. I've been to a lot of Bears games, obviously, as a Bears fan. But we're pretty welcoming fans. As long as you're cool. Now it's the ones that I've seen that run their mouth that the Bears fans don't take kindly to. But I feel like that's anywhere you go. You start running your mouth and you're in opponent territory. You always have to have a good mindset going into opponent territory for sure. Oh yeah, Steelers are huge. I think the Steelers are maybe the most popular team in the NFL outside of maybe the Cowboys. I mean, I think
Well,
the Steelers are huge.
They never said that because Dave Wannstedt, the Pitt coach who was your guys' coach, he said back when he was doing some analysis, he said, back in the day, the chief was not into this America's team. You know what I mean? It was more of the, so, but Afton said when she watched it, the Bulls were her team.
Yeah, I feel like that's something that Aaron Rodgers spoke about today in his press conference. He said, "Hey, I grew up a Bulls fan. I love Chicago for that. It's a great sports town. That's why he enjoys beating us so much because he knows how much it means."
Yeah, you guys throwing fucking darts at his picture. So Shane, I'm going to start with you, and then I'm going to go with me, and I'm going to let Will, give his score. So Shane, what is your score and outcome for this game, Shane? Because I know you said the other day if you're still going with
boy, I think it's going to be 27-21 Bears.
Really?
Yeah, he took him the other day too, and I thought he was going to switch it up, but he didn't.
On the season, I said the Steelers are going to have 9 or 10 wins, kind of give or take that.
Yeah, Shane went all well. First he said it was 8, and then I was like, whoa, wait a minute, Shane, and then he changed it up. You changed it up. I'm going to say, I and this is sad, Will, because I never go against the Steelers ever. I'm just that.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, if Duck Dodgers was Devin Hodges was fucking quarterback, and I'd still take the Steelers because I had to deal with Bobby Brister back in the 80s. I don't think it's going to be that, Garth. I God bless you, but there is no way that Pittsburgh's scoring that many. I'm going to go 27-20 Pittsburgh.
I'm in the same realm. I think actually Steeler Chick is kind of where I have this prediction lying. I want to say 24-20 Steelers. I know that's maybe not the greatest thing for me to come on here and say that, but if Aaron Rodgers is going, and I do think he is going, he knows how to win against the Chicago Bears. And if he's not going, maybe I would switch my answer up, but I think Aaron Rodgers is going to find a way to play. And I really do just worry about the Bears defense. I'm constantly worried game after game.
Speechless. I'm like, holy hell.
I'm going with the assumption he's not playing, so I'm thinking he's gonna.
Okay.
Now, if he let's just say this, Will. If Aaron Rodgers Friday is not playing, what would your score be?
So I think that our defense would maybe fare a little bit better, not too much better. I mean, we've watched Tyler Huntley from the Steelers come in there and beat us this year. We've watched Joe Flacco almost beat us this year.
Fuck Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
Fuck that piece. Fuck the Cincinnati Bengals. Fuck him. Fuck Jamar Chase. And
yeah.
Fuck,
I'm all for it.
That was terrible.
I'm all for it. But we watched Joe Flacco put up a lot of points on our head. So I think Rodgers would fare better just because I think he's quicker, more accurate, and very decisive on first and second down, which is all you need to do to really beat this defense. So I think it would fare better, and I would kind of maybe just flip the score there. I think I'd go 24, giving the Bears a little bit more of an edge because they're getting more stops against the Steelers defense, maybe get a couple extra turnovers that they wouldn't get against Aaron Rodgers. And they're very good at taking the ball away. So I'd maybe flip the score there, 24-20 in favor of the Bears if Mason Rudolph plays.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think I don't know, guys. I'm telling you, I think Rodgers
do
everything in his power to win.
You had me stunned, Will, when you took the Steelers. I mean, I
try to be a realist, man. I try to be as real as I possibly can.
I know there's two realists over here, and there's me living in a facade fake world of the Steelers just beat everybody with a shitty quarterbacks or whatever.
Well, this is
one-arm running backs. Like, what's that saying?
I'm going to imitate you preseason. You're like, Steelers are going to ride in on unicorns. They're going to take a sword made from the iron of the Clemente Bridge, and they're going to stab it through the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
I do have a question for you guys before we go. I've kind of had this not necessarily a take, but this outlook on how Steelers fans view Mike Tomlin and just in general, what the direction of the future of the team, because I know it's very split from what I see on Twitter, and I want to get your guys' opinion on it because you found yourself over the last, let's say, decade, at around 500 football, and it hasn't, gotten you a whole lot of play. I mean, I have no room to talk. This isn't a diss. This is me being a realist, trying to see your guys'
right. It's a great question, and we will both answer it honestly.
Okay, so. We're going to tie Mark in from Steelers Nation Australia. He is over the moon. Mike Tomlin can eat anything, and it comes out, rainbow, sunshine, and frosted icing. Okay, Bubba and me, we kind of like 1 week we're like, fuck Tomlin, he needs to go. We're about sick of his shit. The standard's the standard. Let's just freaking pull the plug, and then win a few games. We're like, yeah, we're kind of lucky to have him. He's not a bad coach. Who are we going to get? So it's kind of like that abused relationship where it's not quite abuse, but you get treated poorly. But then there's some good weeks. You're like, oh, okay, well, it's not that bad. That's what I feel like as a fan, Bubba.
Well, look, I can go back to when we had the Killer Bees. And then we lost in Jacksonville, and that's what started it for me. But really, what really started it for me, Will, was, Antonio Brown doing the Facebook Live, and Tomlin's up. You know what I mean? And that should be private. That should not have ever happened. And that was the dent in the armor. I think people love to play for Tomlin, but also too, Tomlin's assistants are not as strong as they need to be. I'm not a big Terrell Austin guy. I believe Arthur Smith might be gone.
Oh, hold on. Give me a second.
Okay.
Change my camera. My battery died.
Oh, he's got a camera. He's high tech, Jane.
Here we go.
Ours just goes black.
We just go. We have actually done this. We've done this show like when the power went out on my phone.
What's going on?
I mean, look, I last year, Tomlin, with quarterbacks, and we've been a couple seasons where we're leading the division, and all of a sudden, the fumble from Russell Wilson cost us 5 losses. I mean, I just thought this year, sometimes it's so hard. Like, who do we get? Who is going to come in? Who's going to come in and play under and be a coach under Mike Tomlin? He didn't want Flores, which I would have took. That didn't happen. So nobody's going to come in that's worthwhile because Mike's still here.
No, that's scary. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the scary part.
So my outlook on it is I have no issue with Tomlin. I think obviously he's done plenty over his career to prove that he's a winner, at least. Has it been enough? I feel like at some point, though, you might just need to throw in the towel on the roster and find yourself in a losing situation, because find yourself into a potential franchise quarterback or something, like a rookie franchise quarterback, and not having to keep filter through these either mid-round picks or, Kenny Pickett obviously didn't work out, but he wasn't one of those premier level early first round guys coming out of Pittsburgh. So I feel like maybe at some point you've got to just throw, not necessarily purposefully tank, but that's kind of the issue, is that can Tomlin really tank? He's always going to be good enough to get his roster. I feel like
I don't think he ever will. I don't think he's ever going to tank. I mean, and he gets the guys to the dance. The 2000, they're not going to ever fire him. The Steelers will never fire him. He's never getting fired. 2027, if he goes out to pasture, that's what he'll do. And I don't know. Like, he loves these veteran guys coming in. Darius Slay has been god awful, and I don't know, but he's got to have a playoff. If he doesn't get a playoff victory somehow this year, it's going to be bad. And I mean, it's going to be really bad because it's been a long time. I'm 55. Next year, I'm going to be 55. I want to see the Steelers win a fucking playoff game before I'm 60. So, I want it now. So, but
we haven't won a playoff game since I was 10. So,
oh God.
since 2010. So I've gone through the ringer here myself. I get that, and I've seen it blown up. That's the scary thing. I've seen it blown up time and time again and not work out. So I understand the fear of blowing it up and losing out on a coach like Tomlin, and then potentially, not being able to replicate what he has. But it does reach maybe like a certain point where it's like, are we ever going to win a Super Bowl again with this current roster if we can't ever find ourselves in a spot to go out there and land a top premier quarterback or something like that? That's kind of how I view it. I just want to get your guys' take on it.
Well, did we answer it? Did we answer it?
Yes. I think you guys nailed it. There's definitely cause for concerns, but there's also cause of the fear of losing out on a really good coach. I'm a big Tomlin guy. I have the utmost respect for Mike Tomlin. I think he is awesome, but I do think that maybe a fresh start for everybody would be maybe good.
Yeah, you're right, because last year we had this conversation. Tomlin
we have it every year, actually. I mean, that's how it goes,
And there's a restaurant chain called Eaton Park. It's like a little diner. It's all around Pittsburgh. Salad, soups, and just bullshit. I'm in there. There's this very effeminate waiter. Doesn't seem like you'd follow Steelers at all. And he is literally talking shit on Tomlin. And I'm like, I tell my wife doesn't follow football. I'm like, do you hear this? She's like, yeah, he really doesn't like that coach. And I came on the show. I'm like, Bubba, the waiter at Eaton Park was just ragging all over Tomlin. Like, it's bad. Like, casual fans are just saying,
if he doesn't win, if we don't get one playoff game a win, it's gonna go bad. Like, I mean, because this was all this money that we paid. Metcalf is like, he's been invisible last 3 weeks. And there's a lot of money on the table, and there's a lot, and the Steelers don't pay a lot of money like a lot of teams do. They get stuff through the draft, and this has been last couple of years has been very different under Omar Khan. And I don't know if there's a franchise quarterback in the draft for the Steelers to draft. I'm not real quarterback. I'm not really college. Shane's more college than me, but I don't think there's anybody that you want to buy the farm for right now,
Yeah.
So
I'd say, Ty Simpson hasn't done too much for me so far. I think the lack of experience at Alabama hasn't been great for him. Mendoza has, put on a show this year, but I still have my concerns with this class. I was a big Lenoris Sellers guy out of South Carolina, but obviously they're going through the ringer right now. So it's too early to tell. I don't think the Steelers will even be in a position for any of those guys to begin with.
Nope.
I think they're going to be too good for that. So it's just more of a.
I just want to see a number 2 receiver. I haven't seen one in years. That's all. I don't wish for much.
Receivers, I think it's going to be a good year for receivers. It'll be interesting to see if they.
That's
on one.
South Philly's right. If they make the playoffs this year,
I think, like, I was just thinking about this coming onto the show, and was if that was going to get brought up or not. I think you guys. It's scary though. It is like it'll be
scary.
tough. Because the Ravens are just rifled off 4 straight. And that is annoying probably for you guys because of their 1-5 start. But I think you guys will squeeze in over Jacksonville for sure. And I think you guys could still win the division. Like, I don't think that's ruled out yet. Like, Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin know how to win.
If we beat Buffalo and fucking Detroit and split with the Ravens, we're in.
Yeah.
I don't know how, by the grace of God, but that's it. This year has been a fucked up year where these good teams, we actually play them better than like Dolphins or, I thought the Chargers was.
I'm gonna play the what if game, Will. Sorry, but you got to participate.
All good.
Bubba, would you rather? It's a would you rather.
Oh, he pisses me off all the time when he does this.
He gets so.
I get.
Okay, Steelers can absolutely 100% beat the Ravens both times they play them, but they lose both games between the Bills and Detroit. Or the Steelers split with the Ravens and they split with the Ravens and then beat the Bills and Detroit. What would you rather have?
I'd rather have them split with the Ravens and beat Buffalo because they can't beat Buffalo. And if they beat the Detroit Lions, my God, the national fucking media would just be sucking our whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'll take that, even though I hate the
you're
Ravens.
guaranteed if they lose these 2 games against the Ravens, they're going to win 3 other games, not to include maybe the Bills and the Lions, and then what's another
They
team
split. They split with the Ravens, and they beat the Lions and the Bills
and the Browns. Yeah,
and if they beat the Browns, they have the North.
I'd take the sure thing. I'd lose both of the Ravens and just win out, man. I don't know. It's tough.
Yeah,
I don't.
I think that gets you guys into the playoffs. I think it's unfortunate that right now the Bills and the Chiefs are in wild card spots, because that's tough to overcome. But I think you guys will, if you guys end up losing the division to the Ravens, which I don't think is a guarantee yet. I think you guys will overtake Jacksonville.
I have one last question for Will.
All good.
Because Bears are considered, as a Steelers fan, I feel like I'm a little bit of a snob. I am. Okay. Because the Bears have had a team since 1920. Steelers have been around a minute. But you have these Jagoffs, these people from Baltimore, think that this team is basically like they're basically garage sale Browns with still the masking tape on with 25 cents. They've been sold and bought again. It's not a real NFL franchise. Same with Jacksonville, Carolina, and the Texans. I mean, unless they're wearing a retro Oilers, I have no respect for them. So, there's some legacy franchises that I just, give the golf clap to. Do you feel that way as a Bears fan when you look at these other franchises? You're like, God bless you.
I am envious of the success, yes, but I as a Bears fan, I still do feel important to the NFL. We're the founding franchise. Our owner was the founder of the NFL, George Halas, and it's named, the George Halas Trophy is named. Whoever wins the NFC Championship game every year wins the George Halas Trophy. So I in that aspect, yes, I feel like I'm grateful to be a fan of such a historic and
not grateful.
The charter
you feel
frame.
Better than right.
I guess, yeah, but at the same time, some Super Bowls would be nice. I wouldn't have it any other way. I wouldn't have it any other way.
I have a question,
Bears fan
Will.
through. Yes, sir.
This year, which division is stronger, the NFC or the AFC, in your opinion?
Like the conference, the AFC and the NFC?
Yes.
The top end, yeah.
Conference, yes.
Oh, I kind of want to go the NFC right now.
And I'm going to agree with you because I think the AFC is not that strong like they used to be.
I think like right now you're looking at the top teams in the AFC. You're looking at the Patriots and you're looking at the Broncos at 9-2. They have not. I mean, the Patriots have looked really good, but they've been beating up on the bottom 8 teams in the NFL, which that's okay. You got to play what your schedule is. My Bears are the same way. A lot of their wins, they don't have a single win against a team that's 500 currently right now. So this is a big game for them on Sunday. They prove, can they beat a 500 team? But I think NFC Rams, in my opinion, right now are the best team in the NFL. I think the Rams are the best team in the NFL. I've been saying that since the start of the season. I think the Rams are going to be the best team in the NFL. I've been very high on them. The Eagles' offensive struggles are, I know you guys probably aren't the fondest of them being, state mates, but their defense with Vic Fangio is insane. I'm a huge Vic Fangio guy. I don't really love what I'm seeing from them offensively. I'm not overly worried about them, but the Seahawks, really good. The Lions, even though they're not in the first of their division right now, they're very good. The Packers, as they've been struggling, they're very good. I feel like the NFC right now is very deep and very spread out comparative to kind of what's going on in the AFC right now.
Would you think about that, Shane? Would you think too? Because I agree. I agree with Will. I think the NFC is stronger. I just think the teams, when they do play against the AFC, they. I mean, it's just different. It just seems like their style's different.
The powerhouses of the AFC over the last few years have no doubt just been the Ravens. The true power. They've been the Ravens, the Bills, and the Chiefs. They've kind of been the ones battling for the right to go to the Super Bowl, with the Chiefs obviously being the ones to do so every year. And all 3 of those teams don't look like they did last year or the year before or the year before. And I feel like that's why a lot of the AFC right now is not being taken seriously because you've had these three powerhouses over the last few seasons, and they're not looking good this year.
Yeah. And everybody, this is Will's podcast. Subscribe to his podcast. Guys, he come on here and just made myself, my intelligence, my IQ listening to Will jumped up about 30, 40 points because I mean, you know your football, brother, and we appreciate you coming on, and you have an open invite anytime. If you need to promote something or something, just throw it our way. We'll help you out. We'll do what we can. And we do appreciate it. So I think he froze up. He froze up. Froze up in time. Sometimes that happens.
No, but it's been a great show.
It's been a great show.
You could tell he's back to journalist, right?
Well, yeah. Well, he has a communication background. Yeah. So, Will, thank you. If you can hear me, thank you so much. We had a little technical difficulty. We'll see if he comes back. We'll keep chatting a little bit. Yeah, Shane, he was great. I mean, oh my. Karaoke with Bubba, that could be a channel.
Out South Philly. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks. We appreciate it. Dude, we had so many people in here tonight. We appreciate everybody. All you people from Chicago, thank you so much. Very classy. We appreciate you guys.
We'll do a live watch party, and you're welcome to join us.
Yeah, we have a live watch party at 12:30 Sunday. So we'll see if he comes back on here, and I'll give him about a minute or two because sometimes that happens. Because maybe his battery ran out or something like that. It happens. Everybody subscribe to his show. Will was actually, that was awesome. And I'm about like opportunities. Like I like to help people out. So
I'm going to say it right now. He's not here to defend himself, but out South Philly, I'm going to say this. I don't want the Steelers to lose to a guy that wears nail polish.
Well, it'll be a good game. But we're gonna. Something probably happened. But hey, guys, we do appreciate. Oh, here he is.
Hi, something must have happened with my Wi-Fi. It shut off on my laptop. You guys hear me?
Yeah. We can
awesome.
Hear you.
Okay, sorry about that. I wanted to at least give you guys a proper goodbye.
Oh my God, He works at Soldier Field. Oh, that's awesome.
Wow, that's awesome.
Wow. So, Will, we were saying, we figured you had technical difficulty because in the podcasting world, stuff does happen live, and it does. Yeah. And it happens on this show all the time. But, Will, we appreciate you coming on.
Hold on here. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I got my laptop back up and working. No, I'll just stay in here. We're good. We'll finish it from here.
But, like I said, anytime you got something going on because you talk about the NFL, but before you leave, Will, why don't you give a plug for your stuff before you roll out?
Yeah, I would greatly appreciate that. First off, thank you guys so much for having me on. This has been a lot of fun. I appreciate you guys' very kind comments on my ball knowledge. I try to, really, really, invest myself into the game as much as I possibly can, and really, don't take my work for granted. I really love what I do, and you guys giving me a chance to voice my opinions on this platform has been great. You guys can follow me at Will Gray Pinewood. Or just Will Gray. If you search up Will Gray, my name will pop up. I talk about the NFL a lot. I do weekly power rankings. I'm really invested into the NFL draft, so I'm going to definitely come back and talk about the NFL draft with these guys sometime down the road. Yeah. I do Chicago Bears content as well, but NFL as a whole, power rankings, breaking news, all kind of that reactionary stuff. That's my niche. I love what I do. So I'm definitely going to be coming back on the show anytime that you guys need me to just come back and, talk Steelers. I'll come back and talk Steelers with you guys. I don't even need to talk Bears.
Well, you actually picked them. That's what scared me. I was like, oh my God.
I got one last question. Bubba, you'll love this. Will?
Yes, sir.
Are you ready? For the final question. You didn't know this. Bubba was a professional wrestler. And he's wrestled like George Animal Steel, Jake the Snake, a bunch of other guys. Now, Will, who's your favorite wrestler of all time? Can't say Bubba Brewer.
I can't say Bubba Brewer.
You can't say Bubba.
No.
I haven't followed along with wrestling in a few years, but as a kid,
Back when you're a kid.
Rey Mysterio was my guy.
Ooh, good
Yeah, because
answer.
this was the wall. So I got the Steelers stuff, and then there's all my posters I was on. So,
Oh,
yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah. I wrestled. I own my own wrestling company based out of Indiana, Pennsylvania, called the Allies Powers Wrestling Federation. And I wrestled King Kong Bundy and Jake Roberts and Emily,
Awesome.
Rick Steiner broke my nose in Michigan because he didn't like me. But I've been doing more Steeler stuff than I've been actually doing the Triple B experience stuff with the wrestling. But thanks for that question, Shane. That was a good one.
I had to finish with that. Since he's a younger guy, I figured I'd get his take. So
that's good. That's good. But
South Philly said Triple H.
Yeah, I don't like his booking stuff right now, but Will, thank you so much for coming on. And like I said, we do other stuff. I will throw you, I'll throw you an invite, and you come on anytime. And we do appreciate you. And this was a very, very, very good show tonight, and we do appreciate the people that you had come in. So
they kept it good. Thank you guys.
Yeah. Good. Well, good luck to you. Good luck to you Sunday, because this is not like a rivalry game. It's just whatever. But everybody, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Thanks, Will, and all his people for coming on tonight. Subscribe to Will Gray's podcast. He does a lot of NFL talk, Chicago Bears stuff. I subscribe. Shane subscribed, and we'll get him on here to do some draft stuff. Probably during the playoffs, so definitely, because we're this podcast goes all year round. It doesn't quit. It doesn't quit. But Shane, I guess I'll see you tomorrow for the top 10 chases in the Triple B experience. So everybody, thank you guys so much for tuning in to Steelers Dynasty podcast. Hit like and subscribe. We will see you guys at 12:30 Sunday, live streaming the Steelers versus the Bears. Thank you guys, and have a great night. The Bears. Good night, everybody.